9:40 exactly, news and views right here on Salam Media. And next we will be talking with Hina Zuberi, Director, Justice for All, which runs the Save Uyghur campaign. And particularly, we're looking at the issue around Twitter having removed almost 3,500 accounts operating as state-backed propaganda, mostly linked to China. So let's look at this issue and at the same time see if there's been any change in the position as far as the Uyghur Muslims are concerned. Their camps, I think those camps are called re-education camps. There's a whole host of issues to unpack as far as this population is concerned. They are the largest minority ethnic group in China. They are, it's rumored that their numbers are in the region of 12.8 million Uyghur Muslims in the northwest province of China. But Hina standing by, let's talk to Hina. Assalamu alaikum, welcome to the program.
Walaikum assalam. Thank you so much for having me.
Lovely to have you on the show. Lovely to hear that there's people like you out there looking out and being a voice for almost 13 million voiceless people. Let's start with the first question being the accounts that's been removed by Twitter. What are those all about? Are they going to make a big difference in the lives of Uyghur Muslims?
Well, this is not a surprise. A local publication over here that tracks ProPublica tracked more than 10,000 suspected fake Twitter accounts involved in a coordinated influence campaign with ties to the Chinese government. Now, we have to remember that both Twitter and Facebook are banned in China, but Beijing frequently uses both U.S. social networks to promote its positions on the international stage. And I'd like to tie this even to the broader China's propaganda machine, which is unparalleled in its scope and funding. China has committed to spend $6.6 billion on global coverage, emphasizing Chinese power, generosity, and global centrality to global affairs. And this is, you have to understand, not that other governments don't do propaganda, but China does not accept a plurality of views. The press becomes the eyes, the ears, and the tongues of the Chinese Communist Party. And this build-up of soft power is strategic, and it's really, really helped them cover the genocide of the Uyghur population in what the Uyghurs call East Turkestan. The Uyghurs believe they were occupied, for 70 years they had their own country, and they do not believe that they're a province of China. They call themselves a occupied people. And the soft power has, like, for example, let's talk about parts of Africa. China has dominated the switch from analog to digital television in parts of Africa, launching TV satellites, building networks of fiber optic cables and data centers, sort of like a digital Silk Road to carry information around the world. Since August 2019, 10 million of Africa's 24 million paid TV subscribers watch StarTimes, which is owned by the Chinese Communist Party. So this is something of major concern to us, that so many people do not know what is occurring in what China calls re-education camps, but we believe are concentration camps in an ongoing genocide.
Okay, carry on.
Yes, we have analyzed a satellite. Yes, I can hear you.
Carry on, please.
Okay. So Justice for All has analyzed satellite imagery, and which has confirmed the presence of over 380 mass detention camps in that region under the pretenses of prevention of terrorism and combating separatism. Both local and national Chinese Communist Party authorities have targeted the cultural identity, the religious practices of Uyghur people. And these policies constitute a concentrated campaign of mass internment, forced labor, family separation, coerced renunciation of faith, and suppression of Uyghur religious customs and tradition. I know people who have over 100 relatives in these concentration camps, and they've been taken away for the most simplest of reasons, texting someone a salam, attending a nikah, having a tent in their house, leaving the lights on before Fajr, fasting, little things, buying it. You know, how many of us have La ilaha illallah written in our, those calligraphies in our homes? Owning a calligraphy
Yes.
will end you. And these are educated people. They say these are re-education camps. Majority of these people are dentists and doctors and philanthropists, actors, actresses, deans of medical universities.
So let me ask you this question here. Now, all of these people that have come out of these re-education camps, how do they assimilate back into their communities? And I should imagine once they're do they ever come out of those education camps? And if they do, what's their positions like? Are they able to assimilate back into their communities? Are they then sent into their families and communities to brainwash them in turn? It's frightening what you're telling us. And we are aware. I must tell you that even though we're in Africa, we are aware. We've seen pictures, those satellite pictures of those camps, and we get a lot of information on what's going on in that part of the world. So I hope and pray that the Uyghur people don't think that they're a forgotten people. They are in our hearts, they are in our prayers, and we're very aware of this, their situation.
Thank you so much for your prayers and concerns. This is truly the crisis of the century. They don't leave the re-education camps unless they are mostly sent on to even stricter prisons, to forced labor camps. The ones that are let out are so mentally and physically dilapidated that they can't function as normal human beings. Women have been inserted with a forced sterilization or a forced IUDs, so they can't have children anymore. Only a few people have been able to escape the camps and come out of the country. And I've spoken and interviewed many of the women who have come out, and they tell us of mass torture, stories of mass torture, mass rape of these women in these camps. There's one camp that is 10,000 women that have been educated overseas and came back to serve their country. And 10,000 of these women are in these camps. And the stories you will hear, like one of the women said to me that what I'm telling you is an amana. I'm giving you a trust. Please share our stories with the rest, because the girls I left behind, they are counting on me to tell their stories. It is absolutely outrageous that this is still taking place in the 21st century. We keep promising never again, but this is happening now. And the worst part about it is that the Muslim countries are silent because of how much power and monetary power China has over many of the Muslim countries. And that is what I hear from Uyghurs that I speak to, that they are, they say that, we're persecuted for reciting the Quran and reading the Quran. And for example, a report we did focuses on targeting of Uyghur imams and clerics. And there are clear observable trends that Uyghur clerics have been particularly a target of the state's repression of Islamic religious practice. Many imams have been detained for holding Islamic lectures or having a prayer group, and due to the clandestine nature, it's often difficult to find court and trial documents for imprisoned Uyghurs. But a study we conducted with the Uyghur Human Rights Project found that 304 imprisoned imams who had been available through court documentation, 96% were sentenced to at least 5 years or to 20 years to life sentences. And the report found that there were 18 imams who had died in state custody, and their only fault was that they were preaching the religion.
Okay,
And
Hina, two
this-
more questions for you before we wrap up. I trust that you are in a Western country, so you are safe to carry on the awareness for these oppressed people that have known nothing but genocide of the worst type. Let's look at two issues. We also understand that China produces about a fifth of the world's cotton. We are told that much of that cotton, the export quality cotton, is picked by forced labor, being the Uyghur people. Can you confirm that?
Yes, this is absolutely confirmed. Like, the supply chains are tainted. There, right now here in the United States, we're working on a act. We're trying to get a law passed called the Uyghur Forced Labor Prevention Act, because so much of the cotton that comes into this country comes through not just China, but through that region. And because this is enslaved labor, because this is forced labor, and forced labor is outlawed in this country, we have a terrible history of enslavement of our African American brothers and sisters. So we are trying to get this law passed. And currently, because what would happen is even labor unions are working with us to try to get this law passed, because they believe that any of the audits that they could do to find out if people are being forced into labor, they said even those audits are not, you can't rely on those audits, because Uyghurs are, they're going through a genocide, and they will be tortured, or their families will be thrown into prison if they say something in the audit that doesn't support what. And we found evidence on Chinese media themselves. There's hundreds of videos, and you can go to our YouTube channel and watch some of them, where they're boasting about how many Uyghurs are working in these factories. You can find them on Chinese websites where they are boasting that these are good, strong men and women because they don't drink alcohol and they eat a clean halal diet, that they will make good laborers for Chinese factories. So it's
okay.
it's
Let us go for an ad break here. Now, when I come back, I want to pick up on two more issues. Non-support of Uyghur Muslims by Muslim countries. I also want to touch on the outcry. All right, let's just leave it there. I'll be back with you in a minute or two.
Looking to get your kick? Kiki's have now reopened on 235 Matthews Maiwa Road in Durban. Head on over for the taste with Kick. We offer something scrumptious for everyone in the family. Wraps, chicken tikka, burgers, tender grills, mocktails, milkshakes, and so much more. Corporate and events catering available. Visit our social media pages for more info or call 031 209 0119. Kiki's, the taste with Kick.
Africa Muslims Agency teams are on the ground in Afghanistan. Millions of people go daily without food. You can heal Afghanistan. Sponsor towards feeding a family at 1,500 in a month or any amount. Visit africamuslimsagency.co.za or call 011 834 8685. Africa Muslims Agency, inspiring the spirit of giving.
Shimmer, sparkle, captivate. Nothing less than a masterpiece. Droplets of gold inspires precious design. Platinum bursts with intricate freshness, and every pure diamond becomes more than just a girl's best friend. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, where timeless dreams become a reality. Come to us. We tailor-make designer gold, platinum, and diamond jewelry. Trade in or remodel your old gold. Clad yourself with classy name-branded watches. We offer insurance valuation and freezer card calculation. Visit us at 534 Ridge Road, Overport, or call 031 208 9142. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, manufacturers of fine gold and diamond jewelry.
What makes Randery Jewelers the optimum place for your memorable gift? Is it our range of exclusive, high-end, luxurious jewellery? Or is it our master craftsmanship of all your bespoke jewellery needs? We believe it's because at Randery Jewellers, we know just how to make your special moments last forever. Whether it's for a wedding, anniversary, or just a simple gift to show your love, trust Randery Jewellers to make it special. www.randeryjewellers.com. Make your moments last forever with Randery Jewellers, the family name you can trust.
Approximately 785 million people in this world do not have access to safe, clean water. In developing countries, around 80% of all illnesses are due to contaminated water and poor sanitation. Don't let dirty water end a life. Build a water well in Bangladesh, Malawi, Nepal, Zimbabwe, or here at home in South Africa. Donate to Penny Appeal's Thirst Relief Project to bring safe, clean water to communities around the world. www.pennyappeal.org.za or call 031 1100 573. Penny Appeal. Small change, big difference.
Kids these days are smart, and when you're competing for their attention against their smartphones, you need to make smart choices, like using Sunfoil triple refined pure sunflower oil in every meal you make. It's naturally cholesterol-free and approved by the Heart and Stroke Foundation as part of a balanced eating plan. So whether you're cooking, frying, or baking, you get the great tasting results that'll get their attention faster than the latest app. And if that doesn't work, change the Wi-Fi password. Sunfoil. Now we're cooking.
Little bare feet on the icy wet ground. A shiver at his lips. Mud on his clothes. When he is cold, the hunger is worse. The nights are longer and the pain is more severe. What if this was your child? The Al-Imdad Foundation's Global Winter Appeal allows you to make a difference for refugees, IDPs, and struggling communities in 21 countries globally. Sponsor a winter pack today for just 600 Rand. Donate online at alimdad.com or call 0861 786 243.
Salam Media, a global voice for humanity.
With approximately 3 minutes to go to wrap up time, we are still talking with Hina Zuberi. She is the Director of Justice for All, which runs the Save Uyghur campaign. I'm going to give her a statement and 2 questions to see us to the top of the hour. Hina, welcome back. And question and statements. Let's look at the issue around, you made a statement about the Muslim countries not supporting Uyghur Muslims. You know, I can add on to that without minimizing the Uyghurs' plight, and that is that they're not even showing support and solidarity with the Palestinians. So you kind of question the politics of these Muslim countries and wonder where's the Islamic Brotherhood. That's the one issue. I raised this next issue on my show 2 weeks ago, the supposed disappearance of the international tennis player Peng Shuai. The Western world has come out very robustly about accountability from the Chinese government about her whereabouts. This is one single person. I do feel for her and I do hope she is safe. One single person against almost 13 million people who are living in abject slavery, poverty, and possibly being killed off mercilessly. Where is the justice in this world? Last question to you, Hina, is how come you're so invested in the welfare of the Uyghur people? Over to you.
Thank you so much for that question. I am absolutely devastated by the fact that our Muslim brothers and sisters are not able to get their governments to support the latest statement by the UN. There were 43 nations that called on Beijing to allow independent observers immediate access. I mean, this was not even a statement that called it a genocide or anything. They're just asking for access to the area. And only Turkey I believe was the only Muslim country that's signed the statement. So that is where we are right now with the state of our Muslim Brotherhood. For myself personally, I believe this is a duty assigned to us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As I was telling you, I'm from the United States, and we have a terrible history of enslavement. And when I started this work, one of my elder African American mentors said to me, Henna, when my people were enslaved and the abolitionists came to free us, and people used to think that, they would be with the abolitionists, but they really would have been with the oppressors. Whose side are we going to be on? And this is what is driving me every day, the Quranic concept of qist, which means fairness, equity, and justice, that we establish fairness, equity, and justice on earth. And two, that the legacy of slavery in this country, and we have to be abolitionists of today.
Absolutely. And your comment on my statement regarding Ping Shui?
Oh, yes. That is just, subhanAllah, one person. This is the power of social media. This is the power of holding Western passports, that one person, the whole entire world is up in arms, whereas we have these millions of people whose voices have been suppressed, who are not allowed to speak for themselves, and they don't have access to Western media. They're not even, our Uyghur brothers and sisters aren't even allowed to call their families back home to check and see if they're alive, what's happening to them. I personally know so many Uyghurs who have no contact with their family members. So to even make a hashtag about their family members, to get something started, we're actually coming up with a toolkit to help Uyghurs make a fuss and talk about their incarcerated, especially Uyghurs in the diaspora in Western countries, so they can make a fuss and hopefully get at least the minimum amount of attention as this tennis player has gotten.
Henna Zubairi, Director, Justice for All, which runs the Save Uyghur campaign. It's been an absolute pleasure talking with you, for highlighting the plight of the Uyghur Muslims. Keep up your amazing work. Inshallah, we will talk again with you sometime soon. We keep the Uyghur Muslims in our hearts, in our du'as, and collectively we do hope that their position and situation will change. You go well. Allah be with you, and Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for having me on.
My pleasure entirely. 3:10 exactly, and that means wrap-up time. Shukran so much for being with us on the show this morning. A big thank you to our producers, Nazri Naidu and Milazi Boy, Ziyad Milazi Boy. Thank you for the support on the show. And once again, I end up by saying, please, please, please follow those protocols. Mask up, sanitize, and social distance. We're hearing about the Omicron that is really very, very transmissible. So let's be careful rather than sorry. Till tomorrow morning at the same time. Also, be safe on the roads. Assalamu alaikum and Khuda Hafiz from me, Julie Ali.
Breaking stereotypes, moving boundaries, joining hands. Salam Media.